Okay. Hello, Nemin. Welcome back.
Hi, Tanaya. Nice to be back.
Yeah. So today we are back with yet another discussion, an important discussion about cryptocurrencies and different government regulations. So let me begin asking you about what is exactly cryptocurrency and your view on it.
Right. So, cryptocurrency is something which I also had no idea about until recently. In fact, I was approached in 2015 for some assignment by one of the people who were trying to make it legal here. One of those uh, organizations that approached us, but I had no idea what it is. So I had declined the assignment that time since, there was no clue what it is. That recently I've attended a lot of webinars and I've read a lot of material. So basically, let's say what a regular currency is. A regular currency is like, what you have US dollars or rupees. So that you can see because they print the cash. Imagine if we have a system where we only had money in the bank, then you actually would not be able to see even the regular currency.
Correct.
So that is so cryptocurrency basically are currencies which are created using the blockchain technology. Let's not get too much into detail of what is blockchain, but blockchain basically is a new technology where you can keep a record of all the transactions in one place. So the person who looks at the transaction next can see all the previous transactions. That is the easiest way of explaining what is blockchain. So cryptocurrency is a currency which is issued using blockchain technology. Bitcoin is one of the cryptocurrency. I think I believe there are almost 5,000 other different types of cryptocurrencies which are available and which are trading. So this is the very basic. So what commonly people say is that cryptocurrency is not backed by any asset. But my argument to that is even our regular currency in the strict sense is not backed by any asset. So countries do have gold, but if you don't have gold someday, your value doesn't decline just because you don't have gold against it. So technically, you may argue that even a regular currency not necessarily backed by an asset. Likewise, even a cryptocurrency isn't backed by an asset.
Understood. Right. And what is your viewpoint on this cryptocurrency? There are so many people say it's good, so many say no, it's not good. What is your view on it?
So actually, there are good arguments on both the sides. So, that is what people say. One thing I agree with is that blockchain and cryptocurrencies are the future but of course, in its current form, cryptocurrency could be misused in many ways. And I think it needs to be regulated better. Right now, it is not regulated at all, but it needs to be regulated. If it is regulated in an appropriate way, I think cryptocurrency will have a decent future, especially because like one of the countries in South America, El Salvador, has actually recognized bitcoins as their official currency.
No.
Apart from dollars. So people in El Salvador can now actually use bitcoins as a currency. In fact, they have even set up around more than 500 ATM machines across El Salvador to convert bitcoins into dollars. So they're making a very big push towards cryptocurrency, towards Bitcoin. So hopefully, this is what we're looking at. I mean, maybe this is the next 100 years of the world. So you can't ignore that. But yes, there are some challenges with cryptocurrency which need to be addressed and need to be ironed out.
Absolutely. Thank you for such great insights. What is your view on the government's role in this? Sometimes the government is banning the cryptocurrency. Sometimes they say that no, let's put it on hold. What is your view on that?
So my view is, I think the government. So just to give a slight background, in 2000, so the Reserve Bank of India, since many years, I think crypto has been around for many years now.
Yeah.
They have been cautioning people against use of cryptos. In 2018, that escalated to, in April 2018, that escalated to a full-fledged ban on cryptocurrencies, which of course got overturned by a Supreme Court ruling in 2020. Yeah. So at that point of time, it appeared that the government view on this was they didn't want this and they wanted to launch their own digital currency. It is believed that after the pandemic, when the tax collections went down, somewhere somebody got the idea that they could tax this cryptocurrency transactions, because you see the numbers in which people are trading in cryptocurrencies today is insane. So
Yes.
they started thinking that, this is a gold mine. If we ban this, we will never be able to milk the cow. So then the idea shifted from banning to regulating, I think, which was my personal view is that should have been the approach since the beginning. It should have been always regulating. I think we are in India, we jump far too quickly into banning stuff, rather than trying to understand. Supreme Court also said that, first you try to analyze why it is banned, and then you ban it, rather than ban it and then see what it is about. So that is something which is there. So I think regulating is the correct way to go, and I believe that is exactly what the government is heading for right now.
Absolutely, that you are absolutely correct, that without even understanding what it is, we go and ban it first. That isko band karo pehle. Then we think about it. Absolutely.
That is almost like, क्या कहते हैं उसे, डिफॉल्ट रिस्पॉन्स रहता है कि कोई भी कोई नया चीज आके बोलता है नहीं इसको बंद कर दो, ये नहीं चाहिए.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I know that you keep on saying about the money laundering aspect of cryptocurrency. So how would you give your view on the prevention of money laundering in case of
this is an aspect which people don't talk about much, and I think it is incorrect, because the money laundering aspect is one of the reasons why people fear cryptocurrency.
Yes.
So let us take an example. If since money heist, the season is of money heist right now, so let us take the example of money heist. If somebody were to pull a heist in India, a regular bank, let's not get all the way to RBI. Let's say they're of a regular bank, and they have seized all the cash. The bank knows the serial number of the notes, etc. So people can get caught.
Yeah.
If these people were to be able to convert their cash into bitcoins and just walk with a pen drive of bitcoins, walk away from the country, or just walk around in the country, nobody will ever know that they are the ones who robbed it, and they are the ones who had the cash. So I think in that sense, this aspect that you could commit crimes, or you could have some financial crimes, or actual crimes committed, and the proceeds of those crimes will be converted into bitcoins, and that is the primary objective of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. And I think that is the biggest concern for me, that if people are able to convert their loot into crypto, it will become impossible to track. I think that is the reason why my belief is, when you start regulating it, you have to regulate it in the sense that, you have listed entities. When you buy and sell shares of listed entities, you have to do it through a recognized stock exchange. And even when you're holding your shares, you are now since December 2019, you are now compulsorily required to hold your shares also in demat form.
Demat,
yes. That means I believe even cryptos need to be regulated, that they need to be only you should be allowed to hold cryptos only through a crypto exchange which is duly registered with the authorities. I believe here the regulator should be RBI. There have been many suggestions that SEBI or a third regulator should be appointed. I believe since it is closer to a currency, I think Reserve Bank of India would be the right authority to regulate it. And I think if they do that, I mean, if these crypto exchanges, so I'll give you my own personal example. I opened an account with CoinSwitch Kuber, and I have bitcoins worth 100 rupees. It's very small fraction. And when I bought them, they were 100. Now they're 50 rupees. So
okay. So you have started your journey in investing in cryptocurrency.
दिख भी नहीं रहा है, क्योंकि उसमें मिनिमम ट्रांजैक्शन 200 का करना होता है, और वो बिटकॉइन का वैल्यू 50 रुपए हो गया है, तो मुझे और खरीदना पड़ेगा बेचने के लिए. So I can't even sell. So anyway, so it is better to do these transactions through these exchanges. These exchanges also need to register themselves with the RBI, and of course there has to be a robust data sharing by these exchanges, so that the money laundering aspect can be taken care of. So today, now imagine if you could, when you are bribing someone in government, if they would start accepting cryptos, you would never be able to trace that, because cash to फिर भी कहीं ना कहीं तो trace कर लेंगे ना, ये crypto तो कहीं आप trace कैसे करोगे उसको? So that is the reason why I mean this money laundering aspect is something which a lot of people don't give attention to, but I think people are focused कि भाई what will happen in income tax? Because that is the main concern when you do a transaction. What will happen in income tax and GST? But the larger concern from the government's perspective, or even from a citizen's perspective, is what happens in the on the money laundering aspect, and those safeguards need to be there.
Absolutely. Maybe that is the reason our government is taking a little bit of time to frame the regulations, no matter how much we make fun of them. But this is the reality.
No, very much. I agree. And in fact, the thing is, you are right. We make a lot of fun of them, but ultimately they are the ones who make the laws, and they are the ones who are responsible for keeping us safe. So
yes, and this is yes, it's the future. Cryptocurrency is the future, no doubt about it. But absolutely, there has to be some regulations in place. Otherwise, we human beings, we don't understand any
problem
rules and regulations.
For every one good human being, there are 10 bad human beings. So who will misuse the law. So
yes, absolutely. Tell us, since we are on the topic of income tax and GST, what is the impact of these two in the cryptocurrency transactions?
Actually, up till recently, the experts were divided as to how you will treat cryptocurrency for income tax purposes, as well as for GST purposes. More so for income tax purposes. What I understand, I think there was an Economic Times report last week that they have exclusively learned that they're going to treat the cryptocurrency as a commodity. Now, I'm not entirely certain if the current income tax law will permit taxation of cryptocurrencies in the hands of individuals, especially, without there being some kind of a amendment in the law. Now, the downside to amending the law would be that if you amend the law today, all the transactions which have taken place so far from the inception to today, those cannot be taxed. And you can only tax something going forward. And of course, and the other side, of course, that is if you don't amend the law, you risk it that you'll have a Vodafone-like situation where a few years later a court will come out with a ruling that cryptocurrency is not taxable in the hand of an individual as a commodity, and hence then you will lose the revenue. So this is a catch-22 situation. Let's hope that the government has learned their lessons from the Vodafone controversy, and I believe they should not lust for let me use the slightly controversial word, they are lusting for the revenues from the earlier transactions. I think they should come out with an amendment and a clear understanding that pick a date, say October or December, whichever date, and start taxing transactions after that, so that there is clarity, and you don't get caught in litigation for years, and then you don't have to keep, and then you amend the law and then you still lose the cases. You don't want that situation for cryptocurrency. So hopefully, they will do that. In GST, it is a little better because the way GST is worded, I think you could easily tax cryptocurrencies now also. Again, the complexity comes in if you start allowing people to accept payments in cryptocurrency. Now there, the GST implications become more complex and maybe a little out of control. So either they can go for what Turkey has gone for, that you don't allow people to make payments or accept payments in cryptocurrency. You allow it only as a medium of investment or trading, not allowing it as a medium of exchange. That is one way to go. That will simplify stuff under the GST law. But if they choose to allow people to accept payments in cryptocurrencies and to make payments in cryptocurrency, I think the GST law will require some kind of an amendment or at least a clarification, because that will lead to multiple taxation, which may not remain very viable for the people who are accepting or making the payments. So what happens is if you're treating, if it was currency, it's fine. Like if you're going down the El Salvador route, it is fine because it is currency. So that per se will not attract any GST. The problem is that if you treat it as a commodity, then when you pay crypto and you get say a biscuit packet, what you are giving is one commodity, you're getting another commodity. So there is GST implication of both the sides of the transaction. Usually you pay money and you take a biscuit, so the money is never covered in GST law. So that's it. So that is the reason why this becomes more complex, and there could be multiple taxation, and it will not remain viable for people to. So if they don't clarify this, also I don't see enough people who will accept crypto payments. If you see even Elon Musk, first decided to accept, then he again changed his mind, he again changed his mind. So we don't know what other people are going to do.
But you have brought out a very, very valid point of cryptocurrency being recognized as a currency or as a commodity. And whatever way it is, it will have impact in the regulations and in the compliances.
In
This
fact,
is, I think,
this will become another, there will be another interesting layer to this, because now El Salvador has recognized Bitcoin as their official currency.
yes.
So now India may have to amend its foreign exchange law, because otherwise under the foreign exchange law, Bitcoin may become foreign currency. And today, as for the way the law stands, you cannot hold more than a certain amount of foreign currency without approval. So, so then, you know, that becomes a problem. So everything becomes illegal. So, you know, they'll have to even amend that law. So you're right, you know, the government is taking its time because so many laws are involved. And, you know, let's hope that they get, after all this time, they get it right, because if they don't, it's going to start having catastrophic implications across the board.
Absolutely. Again, this point again didn't cross my mind about the foreign exchange regulations having an impact also in this particular transaction. Thank you so much, Nemin. That's about it. I think
Yes.
all my questions you have answered it about cryptocurrency. I would also ask the audience if they have any discussions, any comments around this, and then maybe we can make another video based on their additional questions. Thank you so much for coming back, and thank you so much for sharing your unbiased views as always.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, so we'll keep creating more such videos. Thank you.
Indeed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.